This is Mistress Oicy, and I am chatting with Jimmy from Against All Will. Say hi to everybody, Jimmy.
Hey, what's up?
So can you tell us a little bit about Against All Will? Where they're from, who's in the band?
Yeah, Against All Will, that's our little happy family of musicians that, we've been around for 2 or 3 years. We recorded the Rhyme and Reason CD and kind of feel like we're kind of just getting started, and now we're on to work on the next CD and kind of get all the music and stuff written for that.
Awesome. And who are you guys signed with for a record label?
Our record label is basically my record label, which I started for basically this project and for, maybe down the road to help some other bands, and it's called Subsonic Records. And, we're an indie label, and we kind of just did that just to kind of release the Rhyme and Reason CD from Against All Will, because we were kind of, going through, other, working and talking with other record labels and stuff, and it just really didn't seem very promising, so we kind of just decided to put it out on our own.
Sounds like a good plan. Seems safer these days. So, you said you guys have been together for about 3 years?
Yeah.
Awesome. What did you do before Against All Will?
I was in a band called Puddle of Mudd, and, did some, stuff with them. I started that band and kind of, wrote some of the big singles and stuff, and kind of, that band kind of, when, they did a deal with Fred Durst, it just really wasn't my thing, and, how the, record industry kind of is, so it kind of, just really wasn't my thing, even though it was kind of, my baby. But, so I kind of, wanted to do something different, wanted to, have a good band, like a family around me, and not have a lot of the, industry kind of backstabbing that goes on with being in a major label band. And so I kind of just started to write songs and kind of work on something that I thought meant something to me, and then that kind of took a happy turn and kind of turned into Against All Will. So, we've been really happy with everything that's been going on.
Awesome. Do you guys go on tour?
Actually, right now we're not on tour. We are kind of in the process of creating and writing the next record. I mean, we just did some Texas dates and some LA dates, and we're kind of doing shows in between, this and that. We're kind of being kind of picky when it comes to shows, because, with the state of the industry right now, it's kind of, you go out on tour and then you realize that you've, spent $50,000 or $100,000 to go out there, and you're kind of like, it's not a real smart thing with the way the economy and the business is right now. But yeah, we're kind of in the creative process right now, going through songs and working stuff out. And there was a batch of songs we were working on in the studio, and I just really didn't. I liked the songs, but something just didn't feel right. So we kind of threw away a bunch of songs, and now we're working on a new batch. We just really want the best music we can kind of come up with to be available for the next CD.
Sounds good. What is one of your favorite songs off of your album?
I would say my favorite would be Swept Away, the single we've been promoting recently. It was kind of the first kind of idea I had for Against All Will, and it was kind of like, so that's kind of my favorite. But they're all my babies. I really like them, but I would say Swept Away is one of my favorites.
It's a very cool song. I enjoy I Hate. I think that's one of my favorite songs. So, and I hear there's a funny story to that one.
Yeah, I Hate. That's that was kind of left over from the Rhyme and Reason CD, and we kind of recorded the vocals at Henson Studios in LA, and at the time, the Jonas Brothers were recording right next door to us, and me and Jeff, the singer for Against All Will, were kind of like, it'd be really cool if we could get a Jonas Brothers singing on this I Hate song. So we went over there, and they came in and heard it. And, I think for a while we might have had them intrigued to kind of sing some backups, but then their manager was like, hell no, you're not doing that. You're not playing with these guys, these rock guys.
That's funny. So who does most of the writing? Is it you that does most of the writing, or does Jeff write, or?
We all kind of contribute stuff. I would say that the bulk of the material kind of starts off with me, but I kind of like collaborating with other people and seeing how they feel and their ideas and stuff like that. But most of the time, it usually starts with me, and it kind of grows from there.
So do you do the lyrics first, or the music?
It's a little bit of both. I'll start off with some music, but I'll have some ideas or some phrases or some melodies that I'll have kind of written down in front of me while I'm kind of doing the music and stuff. So it's kind of a little bit of both, but I think that it's kind of a thing where I kind of have to feel something to what I'm playing to kind of have lyrical ideas or melody ideas and stuff.
Understand. I just ask because I know some bands prefer to do one or the other first, and so I'm always curious to find out how each band works.
Yeah, and it's kind of a process that we like to kind of challenge ourselves, and sometimes it can be tough because we want the best, or we want to be the best or have the best songs that we can put out there. So sometimes it's a big challenge, and we'll butt heads as band members do, but it's never really very serious. It's just that we want to challenge ourselves as much as we can with making good songs.
That makes perfect sense. So there's 4 of you in the band in Against All Will. Who's on drums?
We got Phil Goignier on drums, Cello Diaz on bass, and Jeff Current, lead singer, and then you got me.
Do you guys get along pretty well outside of the band?
Yeah, we're very blessed to kind of have a band where we're kind of like a big family and stuff. And, I think that not only are we musicians in the band together, but, we're also friends.
Now, with your touring in Texas and whatnot, did you have any favorite venues? Do you prefer, like, small settings or bigger settings?
We usually like kind of the theaters or the smaller kind of intimate performances. In Texas and Dallas, Trees, the venue there was really, really awesome. It was it's Jeff's hometown. He's from Dallas, Texas, so it was a really good, good vibe at that show and a good venue.
Very cool. So you guys are working on a new album and then hopefully going out on tour?
Yeah, we're working on the record, and who knows how long that'll take because, like I said before, we kind of went through some songs and they didn't click with us, so we kind of pushed those to the side, and we started writing a new batch, and we just really want to make the next record really boom. So
understand totally. So your current album is Rhyme and Reason?
Yes.
And where can people get access to your music?
The best place to get a hard copy, like an actual CD, would be go to againstallwill.com. I know Amazon has them, iTunes and Rhapsody and all those other, download places have it too. But the best is usually order from againstallwill.com because I think, they throw in stickers and picks and extra added stuff for the fans, so it's pretty cool that way.
Band swag is always cool, so. So do you have anything else you want to tell us about Against All Will?
Well, I just would like to thank everybody for their support, and you guys included. Just to thank everybody for their support and calling up, satellite radio at Octane and requesting us and getting us, kind of moving along. It's been really cool, and we're, very grateful for all our fans and all the people out there that have been supportive of this record.
Well, it's a really good record, and I recommend that people go out and buy it and listen to it over and over.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. So I want to thank Jimmy from Against All Will for joining us on KMSM, and now we're going to get back into the music.
This is Jimmy Allen from Against All Will, and you're listening to The Drug I Need.